Alright, hello. Today I'll be playing this game, Munacho Shooting Stars, which is, I guess, kind of like a weird take on some Chinese like legend about like a girl being in the moon and then or somebody on Earth wanting to go there with that sci-fi kind of twist, I guess. So we'll see how that is. So let me move a little bit, I guess. Okay. Hopefully like this. Let's see. Start. The music is nice. Really moody. So, on the moon, there lived a beautiful immortal named Chanja, or something like that. Her jade rabbit pounded night after night the elixir of immortality. Even generations ago, when humanity had first set foot onto the moon, people knew of such a legend. It was only that they hadn't expected the story to be true. City A, the city with an elevator to the moon. Tonight as well, I manned the entry gate to the elevator. I processed papers and people under the stars in the far-off outskirts of the city. The paperwork was dull. The people even duller. No amount of fame or wealth could buy the way to the country. White hair, red eyes. She looked as if she was cursed by the sun. At first I thought of her as just another girl who was curious about the elevator. She had neither an elevator permit nor any papers required for visiting the moon. In fact, it seemed that she didn't even have an ID on her. Was she a human or a fairy? To come here so boldly and look at me with eyes that seemed to see even the furthest of stars. But this is the moon archer, I guess. Gatekeeper you, is there any other way for me to go up? You too, I guess, is the name. Would you like to fill out an application for access? It won't guarantee anything, but it may be worth a shot. Yeah, that would be appreciated. Access to moon country was limited, so one couldn't just fly a rocket up. Just the thought of all the paperwork made me wince. Then again, here I was, filling out paperwork. Oh yeah, I think they named them like that. Didn't know the rovers. Interesting. But like the legend is, I read about it on Wikipedia and well, it is kinda like what is like the basis of Sailor Moon in a way. Like that also had like kinda sub-theme about well Bunnies and the Moon, the name of the main character. No family name, Miss Ye. Yes, as of now, I have no family name, I am simply Ye. I see. I was a little suspicious. Then again, there were many strange people who came here. In the end, they all blurred together. Her hands wrote nimbly. Perhaps she had practiced calligraphy in the past. Is there a preference for how my contact information is filled out? No, as long as you can be contacted. When she finished, I looked at the neatly written characters to find that the paperwork was diligently filled out. Many thanks, Gatekeeper Yu. You're welcome. Have a good rest of your evening. After she left, I expected to never see her again. People came and left like transient clouds. I looked up to the sky to see if there were clouds today. The moon was bright, and there was no one here, and nothing else to do. I would stargaze as I settled in for another long night shift. And so the night passed. Yet the girl returned night after night. She did not come every night, but still frequently enough for her face watching the moon to linger in my mind. I wonder what she wanted so desperately to go up there for. I wasn't bothered by her presence, and she didn't do anything out of place. I was simply curious. I'm like curious like why? Well, like the myth is that there is an immortal woman named Janja or something, or maybe Janja. But anyway, on the moon, about Archer is like down here, but like what did like people think of the lady on the moon when they landed on the moon? Like that is what I'm kind of wondering. For that reason, I spoke to her at an hour where there was no one else present but us. Miss Ye, why do you want to go to the moon? To meet Aheng, my wife. It's been a lifetime since I last saw my wife, so I wanted to meet her again. What's she like? The most beautiful woman on earth. No, I suppose it should be that she is the most beautiful woman on the moon. Strong and kind. I don't believe I can put it into words. She is the person who saved my heart. Then again, that might be what love is. Having never been in love, I did not confirm or deny her words. What a good expression she had on her face, filled with a tender feeling like water, deep and profound affection. A tender feeling like water, yeah, that one I know. I hope you can see her again soon. Or you would hope that she doesn't have the papers. Many thanks, gatekeeper you. Perhaps because of that conversation, we began to talk more frequently. Come rain or snow, she would always return. Her wife on the moon must have been a lucky woman, as he never stopped speaking about her. It wasn't appropriate for me to be nosy about her domestic matters, so I didn't ask about topics such as how they came to be separated and why meeting was so difficult. Surely you know the paper thing at least. But I guess there is also like, why doesn't she come here? Before I knew it, we had become friends. Have you ever wondered why the elevator is in a place like City A? Many times, but never have I found the answer. This is just something I heard from a co-worker, but apparently Lady Chanja asked for the elevator to be built on this land. According to rumors, this was the place where her husband, Ho Ye, was buried, and also the place where they used to live when she was on Earth. So it is like the parallel, I guess, but not exactly the same thing. Like not same people, but like gender swapped or something. Nobody was found, so who knows how true it is. Or maybe it could be like reincarnation thing then. It was as if Lady Chanja was still waiting for Hao Ye. Just like Ye, her husband. I heard she rarely talks to others, much less about the past. You're right. Because of that, we still don't know the truth behind the legends of the past. We can confirm parts of the legend of Chanja, but very little of Haoji's existence. It's a bit frustrating. I guess they basically found the lady there and they knew the myth and they maybe have asked like something but didn't figure out much. I guess. But you like legends. Yeah, I do. As a child, I had always liked them very much. Seeing as Chanja was confirmed to be real, a noble lady on the moon, I had liked her the most. The most popular version of the story went something like this. There lived a beautiful woman named Chanja, who was married to the divine archer Hao Jie. Hao Jie had been given an elixir of immortality by the gods for his great deeds. One day, when Hao Jie was out hunting, his jealous apprentice Feng Meng broke into the couple's house. Feng Meng threatened Chanja, wanting to steal his master's elixir of immortality. Not allowing Feng Meng to steal the elixir, Chanja had no choice but to swallow it herself. However, upon consuming the elixir, she began to float away up to the moon. She could not even say goodbye to Hao Jie and only managed to bring her pet rabbit along in time. Thus, to this day, Chanja lives on the moon with her pet rabbit. More like that is more or less how it was on Wikipedia. Between Chanja and Haoji, who do you like more? I would have to choose Chanja. Haoji is fascinating, but no one really knows anything about him. Haoji was a divine archer who slew many fierce beasts that plagued humanity. His most famous feat was shooting down 9 of 10 suns. On the past, there were 10 days of the week, so for each day there was one sun. However, the suns one day decided that they wanted all to rise. That would be a hot day, I guess. Thus began a period of eternal day, an apocalyptic, burning landscape. In order to save humanity from this peril, Haoji was dispatched to stop the suns. If only like stopping climate change would be as easy. To do so, he shut down sun after sun till only one remained. The last one, cowed by his might, rose and set every day on schedule from then on. Haoji's legends had never been confirmed. The sun, as we knew it, was simply a fiery ball, a large star that lit our solar system. Between someone who existed and someone who didn't, I would always prefer the former. Yet I felt like Ye might prefer Haoji over Chanja. Who do you like more? Chanja as well, of course. So that's both of us. Why do you look surprised? Won't your wife get jealous if you say you like Chanja? Haha. Thank you for the concern, but she wouldn't get jealous. At least not over this topic. Just between you and me, I'm the one who has the tendency to get jealous. I can see it. We had silly little conversations like this, standing apart from each other. We were not too far, but not particularly close either. Some nights, when I hadn't slept well during the day, I wondered if she was real. Was she a human or a fairy? She was distant and mysterious. I didn't really know her at all, but I enjoyed her company nonetheless. Then again, there was that incident we didn't talk about. Some magnate had tried to force his way in when his papers turned out not to be enough. So Yi came to the rescue by disarming, quite literally, his goons. For a moment, I thought that she was a demon rather than a fairy. More importantly, the ensuing mess with security was not something I like to think back to. The nights continued on. Shooting stars had become quite frequent to see in the sky since I met you. Tonight as well, I saw one soar through the sky, so I made a wish. I hope they meet soon. I hope they meet soon. I hope they meet soon. He didn't come on nights with shooting stars. I guess he is shooting stars, based on what is the legend, or what based on the page, I guess, of the game, and the name of the game. Not sure like what is actually the legend about the archer, but like if you can shoot the suns on the sky, like surely you need to be able to shoot something to the space. I made a wish for her anyway. I hope for Yi and her wife to reunite soon. Part of me also wanted to see this wife of hers who she only spoke praise for. It really seemed like I was asking them to do stuff dog food into my face, but alas, I was a single dog without a speck of romance in my life. If shooting stars granted wishes, I asked them to grant this one for me. How did I first meet Aheng? Badly. It was not a beautiful meeting. I met her while dressed in men's clothing and covered in blood. It wasn't my blood, but blood is blood. At that time, she was already prettier than the stars, but my heart was very cold. When I was directed to kill, I killed. When I was directed to stop, I stopped. That what I did made humanity prosper. Yet my heart was frozen and shriveled. My engagement with her was bestowed to me for my good deeds, so I married her. Well, that sounds kinda the same though. If I were in her position, I surely would have run far, far away. But she didn't run away. Instead, she smacked me over the head, telling me that I wasn't living, even if I had medicine from the gods. The way I was living wasn't living. I wasn't cruel yet, but I was empty. That kind of sounds the same. I'm sure I had the capability to become a tyrant back then. Someone who would shoot down even a baby bird if it seemed to get in my way. But then I fell in love with her. So you changed. Yes. I can't imagine the you of the past. No, maybe I could. I could see someone ruthless in her. Just a little. That's good. Sometimes I ended with more questions than answers. Perhaps she had been raised as an assassin or a child soldier, but it didn't seem real to me. There's not much need for violence these days. Humanity really has gone far. I suppose I could still fashion a club out of peach wood. That kills me. I wondered if she was making a reference to the story of Hotties' death. The divine archer had survived many assassination attempts by his jealous apprentice Meng Meng. Hotties' skills with the bow simply too sophisticated. When Feng Meng finally killed Hao Ji, it was with a club carved out of a peach tree. What a violent death. You better live till you meet your wife again. Of course, I had to meet her this lifetime. If there was anything in this world that I knew with certainty, it must have been his love for her wife. When another night came with another shooting star, I once more wished for the two lovers to reunite. Why was it that they couldn't meet? I wondered what circumstances prevented them from seeing each other. Or the elevator? And who was he? As expected, my curiosity on the fairy girl's identity had not disappeared. A girl who came to the desolate elevator gate night after night, without the papers or authority to ascend to the moon. She simply wanted to meet the one she loved. Then again, she was a lot of things. As I gradually came closer to an answer, more and more questions piled up in my mind. Then something happened to throw out all of my conjectures. It was not on another night at the gate, but on a night where I had been told to take break and not show. Seeing as I was nocturnal for my job, my body wouldn't allow me to sleep. Not caring to navigate CDA's nightlife scene, I packed a soft blanket and picnic for myself to go stargazing on one of the hills in the outskirts of the city. As I climbed up the hill, I saw her. Well, I guess she is shooting the shooting stars. She had a bow in hand, drawing back the bowstring in a practiced movement. Her eyes looked toward the moon, unwavering. Upward, her bow aimed upward, as if she could shoot the stars down from the sky. The arrow had something, a leader, tied to it. I narrowed my eyes, as if seeing something dazzling. Perhaps because of that, I didn't see the moment she shot the arrow. Surely it was also practiced, smooth, just like breathing to her. Even though I didn't see, I somehow knew. As my eyes adjusted to follow the arrow that was flying impossibly quickly, that very arrow that should have become unseen to my human eyes became a shooting stars. I must have let out a gasp, but she didn't turn her eyes away from the sky. She was watching the arrow, the shooting star, fly even as it disappeared from my view, hoping for it to deliver the message she wrote. She was waiting. After who knows how long, she finally lowered her bow and looked away from the sky to me. Atu, you were watching. Do you think my message will reach Aheng? Of course it will. Of course it won't. The words were lodged in my throat like thick glue. Wow, who are you? I am simply Ye. Now I was sure that she wasn't human. She left out the scene. I had nothing else to say. I was alone with my thoughts on the hill. Stargazing no longer seemed as pleasant a way to spend the night. I met her again at the elevator gate. We decided not to talk about the previous night. The many shooting stars I had been seeing were her messages to her wife. More than just deciding not to talk about the previous night. We didn't talk at all that time. ... She looked at the moon like always, yearning for the person who she would shoot stars for. From the start, I had that feeling. Her eyes were looking somewhere far away, detached from the material world like a fairy. As usual, she didn't bother me as I stayed my shift. Instead, she just waited for me to speak if I wanted to talk and not once forced a conversation. While she watched the moon, I found myself watching her. Our silent meetings continued for a while. Yeah, I think of you as a friend. I'm half convinced that you're a fairy, but you're still a friend. I'm not a fairy. But thank you. I think you as a friend as well. Should we have a drink together sometime? I'm sure there's a saying about how you have to get to know people when they are sober and when they are drunk to really know them. I would be happy to have a drink with you. I want to see what sort of drunk you are. That sounds kind of weird. Haha, that's a good ulterior motive. Unfortunately, I don't get drunk very easily. I'm partial to strong liqueurs like Mai Tai, but reds like Oyun are pleasant too. Expensive tastes. Should I bring some alcohol here next time? Because she's working here. I'm thoroughly tempted, but I'm not supposed to drink on shift. Perhaps it was the other way around. What a great loss. You're a terrible influence. After promising to get drinks together, our nights together seemed to return to as they were before. She came to visit time after time, and as stated, we never did get around to cracking open a bottle of Aoyun while I was on my shift. I hope she could meet her wife soon. When I thought about it, that would be a great excuse to have a drinking party. But your wife would not be happy if I got her flat out drunk. Another night, I was checking the news. Lady Changa might be getting remarried. What? Never mind, articles nowadays are all clickbait. Lady Changa has many suitors like always, and this time she seems to have met with some of them. I don't know if that means she's receiving suitors right now, but it may be a sign that she is looking to remarry, since she is known for not speaking with outsiders. A reclusive beauty untouched by the outside world. Do you think she really wants to remarry? Maybe. This is the most positive response any suitors have gotten. She's been alone for thousands of years too. Fair point. If she does remarry, this place will become much busier. I see. Are you worried about the topic of remarriage? You have seen right through me, Atu. I don't know what I would do if Ahang didn't want me anymore, but I would not be surprised if she no longer believed that I could come find her. It's been a long time since we have last met. You're still young, it's different. Supposedly she's young, but there is this whole reincarnation theory still. I wonder if it is. Well, for one thing, you're alive. But that isn't like guaranteed either, I guess. Like she could be a ghost or something. You're here, sending messages, shooting stars even, which is absurdly romantic. And you're still trying to find a way and contact her. The shooting stars hadn't stopped. Dot dot dot. Thank you. I still need to keep on trying. Even a girl who never gave up would start to lose steam. Now then, if I took a step back, it should have been clear to me that she wasn't in a position where getting to the moon was easy. As if having failed time and time again, at one point she had said this: "At times I find bureaucracy difficult. So dependent. She was a strange, unidentified girl without papers. Where would she get connections? I just expected her to never give up. Should I have been surprised when she came to me and said this? On that bitterly cold night. So cold, I was slow to move my rigid fingers. Maybe already a few months since we first met, she arrived with an odd expression on her face. It was the eyes. It was always her eyes. And she said, words sharper than the chilling air. Tonight is the last night I come here. I have but one last message to deliver to the moon, and I will do so from the highest point by scaling the elevator's tower's walls. Then I won't show my face here again." What? Perhaps I wanted to say goodbye, Atu. I don't want to have to hurt you, so don't bother calling security. You already know how that will turn out. I knew the disarming incident was still fresh in my mind. She started walking away. Wait. I grabbed her wrist. This was the first time I had ever psychically had made physical contact with her. Her wrist was surprisingly thin, and she was really damn cold. Atu, you have 5 seconds to speak before I throw you off. I was scared, and my grasp was weak. Her eyes were that of a wolf looking at a rabbit. I couldn't let her go. Wait, you moron. I'll take you up. If you would just stop, I'll take you up. I don't have the access to use the elevator, but if you're going to be like this, at least let me take you up the maintenance stairs on the side. What sort of shitty goodbye is this? And would you really hurt me? Sorry. Will you let me take you up? After she nodded, I brought her toward the elevator. There were few people present, but her being with me removed any suspicious looks. We reached the maintenance stairs on the side of the elevator, and I unlocked the gate. From there, we began to climb the stairs, which went up as high as reasonable for a person to reach in the sky. Step, step, step. I didn't want to look down. Step, step, step. I wanted to see Aheng again for so long, but at this point, she may already be moving on with her life and ready to forget me, even when I am not ready to forget her. Maybe she even blames me. It must be a lot of steps, if it is like a space elevator kind of thing. Not like space elevator, I guess it's mostly tether. But still. Although I began to get tired walking up the endless stairs, he began to speak as if this exercise was nothing difficult. By a fault of mine, I lost contact with her. I can only send her letters through the sky and pray that my words will reach her. I was a fool who took in a white-eyed wolf. In other words, I passed down my skills to him, but he bit the hand that fed him, harming my wife so that we were separated and then harming me as well. I should have killed him the second he bared his fangs, but I didn't. Only a fool warms a venomous snake in their bosom. Only someone worse than a fool lets that snake bite their loved one. I kinda see what this means at least. Now that I have said these things to you, do you view me differently? No, not at all. You're a good friend. Well, maybe he was like suspecting things from the beginning. We kept climbing until we could climb no more, until the stairs stopped. I was exhausted, my legs aching in ways that I didn't think they could. Yet she looked unfazed. Not a hair out of place as she looked at the sky around us. I was scared to look down. CDA in the distance looked small and insignificant. It must be pretty high up then. I love Aheng. Where did she get that bow and arrow? Again, there was a message tied to the arrow. Although it seems that she is called by a different name now. She placed the arrow onto the bowstring in preparation to shoot. Her eyes never parted from the moon high above. Like breathing, like flowing water, she pulled the bowstring totally back. She aimed and released the arrow to the sky. The arrow turned into a shooting star. As she lowered her bow, she silently watched the star fly and then looked away. I tried to follow the star with my eyes, but I quickly lost track of it. All was quiet. Yeah, are you okay? My question was interrupted as she suddenly moved to the railing of the highest point on the stairs and flung herself over them. For a moment, she was flying. Well, sorry, this is goodbye. Yeah. Then I could no longer see her. I rushed down the stairs, not yet fully comprehending. Not just once, I nearly tripped in my haste, saved only by a fast grip onto the railing. I was lucky not to have twisted my ankle in my falls, but I could feel the bruising forming. Descending went faster than ascending, but still took a while, leaving me wheezing. At the place where she would have been a splat on the ground, there was nothing. No ambulances or crowd had gathered. I looked around a bit, hurrying around the elevator, but I found nothing. She really was like a fairy. It is like really moody and touching, but it's kind of hard to say yet, like what is actually happening. From that night on, I no longer saw her at the gate. No matter how many nights passed, she never returned. The people were dull, the paperwork duller. Ye was nowhere to be found, and even the shooting stars ceased to fly across the sky. I waited. Then I met her. Chanja. Are you too? A fairy. Are you too? Chanja, the immortal on the moon. Allow me to ask again. Are you the one who goes by the name YouTube? For some reason, she was talking to me of all people. I recognized her from the few pictures constantly shown on the news. She was definitely Chanja. Shouldn't she have had an escort? As she was known to be a recluse, had she snuck away? Why had she spoken my name? Thoughts raised my head, and I nearly forgot to respond. My apologies, Lady Chanja. I am YouTube. How can I help you? Thank you, gatekeeper you. You needn't be too formal with me. I am searching for Shen Yi. Her letters said she was here and you were her friend. But I received them late, much too late. Well, I'm afraid that she might be a goner at this point, sadly. I know she is no longer here. She mentioned you many times in her letters. I cannot bear to lose her again. Please. Lady Chanjiang, if I may ask, are you a heng? Yes. I haven't been called that in a long time. Once upon a time, the name Chanja had been Hangye. The tradition of naming taboo had Hang changed to Chang after Emperor Wen of Han came to power. For centuries after Emperor Wen of Han, to the time when humanity first reached the moon, the name of the woman in the stories was Chanja. Will you help me find Ye? Of course I will. It's just that I have never actually sought her out myself. And we haven't exchanged contact information, so I'm not sure how to start. She hasn't come around for a while. If it's impossible, I won't trouble you. She's the only person I love in this world. To think she was alive was already too much of a dream. Even if it takes another 4,000 years, I will roam the earth in search of her. I need a moment to think. Please don't do anything rash. How do I contact her? Yeah, well, there were those hills where she was shooting, but that's all we know. I remembered how we first met. It was on a night like this, but now our roles were reversed. The one she searched for had arrived. Now we had to find her instead. On the day we first met, she filled out some paperwork. On that paperwork, she left an address and a phone number. Oh, that's true. I completely forgot already. Let us head there right away. But the address is just a mailbox, not a home. I'm not sure what the number will lead to, especially now that she is given up. I'm going to try calling her. Dialing the number, I put the phone on speaker as we waited for someone to pick up. Bang. After who knew how long, all we received was an automated voicemail message. Perhaps the number wasn't even the correct number. Nonetheless, I tried again and again and again. I didn't know voicemail messages were enough to tell if what we heard was from her refusing to pick up the phone being out of battery, or something else. On the third ring of our nth try, someone finally picked up a hoarse voice. Who is it? Shen Ye. I must be hallucinating. Aheng still sounds the same as before. You're not hallucinating, Ye. Did my messages reach you on the moon? They did. I'm sorry I received them so late. I love you, don't give up on me. Those are my words. I wanted to let you move on, but I guess I couldn't because I couldn't even bear to drink a Granny Ming's soup after so many years. Was it my fault that you had to suffer in hell for so long and couldn't be reborn? Oh, that will be interesting when I play another game. See what the soup is about. But I guess it is a reincarnation then. I like the games by this developer, like they are really moody and interesting. Anyway, no, it was my fault that you were stuck on the moon all alone for so long. You never forgot about me and set out my favorite snacks as offerings always. So I did. Do you still like those? I do. I'm glad. Where are you right now? I don't know. I wanted to find the place you liked, but the place Heng liked is already gone. I'm going there right now. Wait, what is that? Let me drive you there. Thank you, Atu. The phone cut off at that moment. Had she run out of battery? Although I could be fired for running off in the middle of my shift, I quickly discarded that worry. This wasn't the time for that. With Lady Chanja in my car, as absurd as that was, I drove. We drove for a long time. Finally, we reached our destination. It was a hill where once beautiful flowers must have bloomed. He sat at the top of the hill, gazing at the stars. Yeah. Before I could speak, Chanja rushed up the hill and flew into Ye's arms. They toppled over onto the grass and embraced. How long had it been since they last touched? Since they last saw each other? Surely they were both smiling and sobbing, speaking of all the things they couldn't these past many centuries. They didn't separate, sharing a kiss while entangled. I stayed a distance away to not disturb their reunion. Looking up, I noticed a shooting star in the sky. This one wasn't a letter from Yi to Aheng. Thinking of shooting stars, I realized that my wish had also come true. Nah, no, it was really moody. It was really moody and kind of weird. Kind of weird too, but it worked. So well, that was Moon Archer shooting stars. Well, I liked it. Like the style. Style was nice and fitting with the grayscale thing. And the music is nice too. And it was pretty emotional and romantic. So that's nice. Bit weird, but in a good way. Anyway, well, I guess I'll be off to fix more bugs in my game. So well, see you next week, I guess. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.